It's got, Hamilton. Is there anything else we haven't thought about who's out there in terms of? There's no Verlander out there this year.
No, there isn't.
So there is.
Archer's been
there
hurt.
is, but the Mets aren't trading him. It's like Jacob deGrom is that guy, but the Mets are not trading him to the Yankees,
especially to the Yankees. The only way, not for nothing, the only way if I was the Mets 3-headed GM is if Cashman calls you up. And it's like, listen, we're going to give you Justice Sheffield, we're going to give you Clint Frazier, we're going to give you Andahar, and we're going to give you like 2 lotto tickets in the low minors.
Right, yeah. I
don't know how you would not trade Jacob deGrom to the Yankees for that.
I'm not trading Andahar.
They have
That's the thing. I need somebody who has played at the major league level, which is where Andahar comes in the deal.
You want an ace starter, so who are you going to give up for an ace starter?
Yeah. That's you've got to pay for. I mean, the Yankees have benefited from some pretty good trades in years past. They usually get the better end of the deal. So now they're going to learn. Look, ask the Cubs, okay? So the Cubs gave away. Well, we saw one of the guys on the Yankees right now, right? They gave away guys because
Torres.
Yeah, Gleyber Torres.
Eloy Jimenez for Quintanilla last year.
Who was a can't miss. Gleyber Torres was a can't miss, and they gave him away because they wanted to get Chapman. Right? And as such, what happened? They won a World Series since the first time since 1908. Do you think the Cubs regret giving away?
No.
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
Yeah.
So you got to spend money to make money is kind of how it is.
Yeah.
They won.
But I wouldn't give away Andahar.
You're not giving away Andahar to get. You're getting 2.5 years of a Cy Young, potential Cy Young Award winner.
Who wants to be in New York? Who does it?
I'm saying Severino and DeGrom is a 1-2.
Yeah.
Is as good as any 1-2 in baseball.
And
easily, hands down. Like you would never want to see a team like that in a short series in the playoffs.
Also, there's a thing of just think of all these guys that we see in small sample size. I'm not giving away Jabba Chamberlain, right? Just guys we saw who came to the major league level and were great, and then you look back in 5-6 years later, like
Phil Hughes.
My God, Phil Hughes. It's like there's no way I'm giving away Jabba rules. We got the Jabba rules. Oh, really? The Jabba rules, huh? Incidentally, Jabba's dad still alive. By the way, all those times we were going to have him die and they shut down the team, whatever. He's still alive. My dad and mom dead and buried. He's still alive.
Clint Frazier is going to be a staple with the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees are going to give him away because I think he's the replacement for.
Can he play center
for Brett Gardner?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Again, you want a secondary starter, but you don't want to give away any of the Yankees prospects. So how are they supposed to do that?
Well, for Hamels, I don't think Texas will ask for a lot.
Why wouldn't they? He's like a number 3 starter, and they're trying to rebuild.
Well, this Yankee team is going to go to the World Series, or they're built to go to the World Series. Not to say that, but they don't get there without a starter. So the Yankees are in a weird position they've never been in I'm trying to think of 96, 98, 98. I'm thinking of the teams where they won the World Series. They were never in this position where they could be held up by other teams, and the Yankees are going to be in a position to be held up by other teams because they have not been in a World. The Mets have been in a World Series since the Yankees, right? Yeah. Of course, the Mets didn't win it, but still, 15 was the Mets. 2009 was the Yankees, and in 2009 was the first year of the Sabathia deal, the Teixeira deal, the A-Rod opt-in, whatever it was.
Yeah, the A-Rod re-up.
So it was a lifetime ago. Really, a lifetime ago. Teixeira's on ESPN, A-Rod's on every network on the Sun, and J-Lo, and anyone catch that? And Sabathia's still on the team. So
What do you guys think of? I would ship Andahar if I knew that Machado is going to sign with the Yankees.
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's just money. It's just money. At the end of the day, you tell Machado, same division, the Yankees, Yankee pride, plus money. Yeah, okay.
Listen, if I was Machado, right?
I think Machado's great.
And they know that the Yankees know that they're going to sign Machado like 8 years, and Didi is out in 2 years.
Yep.
You could just be like, hey, listen, man, you play third base for 2 years while we have Didi.
Yeah.
And then you could slide over to shortstop.
Buy your time. He's a young
Gleyber at third base.
He's a young man.
Whoever.
Never gets hurt. His numbers are. You put him next to Harper's. Harper's better numbers, but you can't. Harper also misses a ton of games. So Machado plays those games.
Mm-hmm. And Machado's a better defender.
Yeah. So if you are the Yankees, you can do that. You can trade and get.
You're going to think I'm crazy, but I think Bryce Harper is a bit overrated.
Well.
He's won MVPs, but he is terrible this year. So I have to agree with you.
I can understand that.
I'll take Machado. If you have the choice, I'll take Machado for the Yankees.
No, that makes sense. I mean, first off, you don't really have room for Harper anyway. I mean, what are you going to do? If you want to keep Clint Frazier, you're going to have Clint Frazier, you have Aaron Judge, you have Giancarlo Stanton, you have Aaron Hicks. Jacoby Ellsbury is still under contract. They're still paying him. You know what I mean? You don't really have room for Bryce Harper unless you're dealing one of the other guys. But Machado makes sense. He makes sense at third base because as good as Andujar is, if you sign Machado, you could trade Andujar for pitching.
Right.
You know, it makes all the sense in the world for them to sign him.
I love Machado.
But then it becomes...
I hate the Yankees. I love the Mets. I would hate to see Machado go to the Yankees.
See, my thing with the with regards to making a deal is that I always like off-season deals because I don't have to put 9 guys out there tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, when you make a mid-season deal, you still got to make your team whole. You sort of have to put guys out there next day. In the off-season, I could trade 3 of my starters and not worry because whatever, I'll get guys before opening day kind of thing. So Machado, you know, the only time you do like a 1-for-1, like I remember when the Melvin Mora for who's the Mike Bordick. So you know that's the kind of thing with okay Orioles, we've done this before. Shortstop for shortstop. Ahmed Rosario for Machado. You know, for August and September. Not going to happen because the Mets are sellers.
Honestly, I'd love to see them dump Ahmed. I'm over Ahmed Rosario.
There's no way. There's no way the Mets would even think of trading DeGrom to the Yankees.
No. It's not going to happen.
But I had another question to ask you, and then I'll hang up. Would free agent starters or after this season, would you know?
Well, it could be Clayton Kershaw, right? He's able to opt out, isn't he, this year?
I mean, if I were Kershaw, I would not opt out with all his back problems.
Yeah.
People will bring it up, and you know.
Well, there is one team that'll back up the Brinks truck, though, for him, and it's the hometown team, the Rangers.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, and he could be in no state income tax, and they'll give him a $300 million deal. You know, he'll get 10 years, $300 million.
I don't know.
He's that big. This is the guy who blocked for Matthew Stafford, right?
No. And I get that, but you're talking about a guy who has had chronic back problems 3 years in a row.
Right, yeah. No,
how are you going to give a guy like that?
Dodgers.
Yeah, but I mean, how are you going to give a guy... I understand. Kershaw, he had that 5-year window where he was clearly the most dominant pitcher in baseball. He was a level above everyone else.
You send him to Texas.
But nowadays, let me ask you a question. Wouldn't you take somebody like Matt Scherzer or even Severino over Kershaw right now?
Stuff is so good. And remember,
but he misses half a season.
But that's because he's got to hit. He misses because he's got to bat and run in the National League.
Yeah, but
with the Rangers, he won't have to.
He's got a bad back. He's got a chronic bad back that barks at him every year.
And I also think
that's
it's
never
his funky
going away.
Delivery.
No, I'm sure it is.
So
that's never going away. His back problems aren't going to magically cure themselves.
I just think, again, the Rangers have never won a World Series.
What is it? His heyday
never won a World Series.
11 to 15, 20.
When is Madison a Bumgarner a free agent?
Actually, I think Bumgarner is a free agent pretty soon. They're talking about trading him.
Yeah, they're talking about trading him.
I think it is the offseason.
You know,
see, that's a guy that the Yankees could go after.
He's a guy, if great postseason experience, can hit the ball, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, kind of free agent coming up, I don't think.
Damage good.
Yeah, but you know what he is? This time last year, people were saying the exact same thing about Verlander.
Yeah.
And I was stepping up and saying, no, Verlander is bored. He's bored. He's done it all.
How can he be bored?
Because he was pitching for the Tigers.
He won a million Cy Youngs, and he gets...
that was my point.
And he's with Kate Upton every night. So it's like, that's why he was bored. And so, but you sent him to Houston where it's in a pennant race, a World Series race, the guy, boom, was lit up.
I'd love to be Justin Verlander.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But that's Bumgarner.
You want to talk about overrated, bro? Kate Upton.
What they have, 3 World Series?
There we go.
What they have, 3
hot take.
3 World Series championships?
Yeah, in 5,
In 5 years. And Bumgarner was the star of all of them.
Yeah, and not for nothing, his injury was a freak thing. It was like ATV or something like that. He it wasn't like his arm and his shoulder.
Another guy who's bored, if you take him, unless, and we're kind of equating him with Tim Lincecum.
Yeah.
Because, a guy who just like a comet took off.
Yeah, but Tim Lincecum,
that was too small. He was a lot of things.
But yeah, he had a lot of problems. He's not Bumgarner.
There's a reason why you don't, if you're a pitcher who's under 6 feet, they don't look at you. You don't get drafted. If you're a pitcher under 6 feet, Lincecum there's only, post World War II, there's only in the Hall of Fame 2 pitchers under 6 feet tall.
Pedro.
Juan Marichal and Pedro Martinez. That's it. because Whitey Ford was mid whatever, but that was it. So
I mean, listen, if I were the Giants are in like a perpetual limbo.
Right.
They keep they're like the Mets. They're like the West Coast Mets, right? Where they have neglected the farm system. And they keep signing old veterans in a futile bid for relevance.
That's right.
Right? So, I mean, if you're the Giants and you have Bumgarner and he's a free agent at the end of the year, if you don't think you're going to sign him, trade him to the Yankees. Get Clint Frazier. You know what I mean?
If I'm the Yankees, I'm kicking the tires on Bumgarner because I think you're not going to get a Verlander performance, but you're going to get a guy who's motivated.
How do you know? He has been an unbelievable postseason performer. You don't know.
That's right.
He might come back and be like, wow, I'm a Yankee. I have a chance to win a chip
That's what
this
I
year.
think. It's like he's a guy who has a chance to, and also to make his career relevant. Because while we all know he had the 3 World Series, he was in San Francisco. It's not even the big California team. It's Los Angeles is. So he comes to New York and all of a sudden wins again. People will remember him.
That's the truth.
It'll be,
All right, I got to roll out of here. Listen,
it'll literally
be a pleasure.
It'll be Madison Avenue for him.
Same here.
Yes, Rob Brill, Saturday night, midnight, last medal for the Masters show ever.
I might come knock on the door and pop in here every now and again. I'm moving in October, so I'll come and chat with you guys before I leave.
Give me a timeline of your show. Like, what did it start off at? What kind of medal was it compared to 11 years ago to now? You know what I'm saying? Because a medal 11 years ago is different than
literally the same crap I've always played.
The Cookie Monster stuff.
Yeah, it's always been the Cookie Monster stuff. You know what it is? I've always been the coolest thing about doing radio at a volunteer station is I've never ever had anybody tell me what I needed to play, and that's what's kept me down here for 11 years. I've always got to play all the bands that I like, all my friends'
bands. Do you play
bands.
Pantera?
Yeah,
because that would be this week. The drummer died, right?
Yeah.
So
rest in peace, Vinnie Paul.
Yeah,
dude was a champion. Sick drummer,
right?
Yeah, sick drummer.
No, for some reason I don't know if it's heavy enough. Like new metal back in the day did you ever play?
I played a little bit of everything, man.
New metal, like that rap rockish, like
Limp
Saliva.
Oh, never Saliva. I played a little Limp Bizkit on my day, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Back in the day, you wouldn't play that now. That's
not even back in the day. I would play Saliva.
No, I'm saying Limp Bizkit.
That band was terrible.
Limp
I'll still play Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Actually, I technically I can't, but I would have if I thought of it.
Can I talk to Rob Brill?
Yeah, you got him.
Hey, Rob.
Hey,
it's Dave from Franklin Square.
What's going on?
Dave, hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I was going to say, you're the only guy in the world that thinks Jets PSLs are underpriced.
Not anymore.
What's shaking, baby?
Chilling, man. How are you, Dave? A long time no talk, brother.
Yeah, like I said, we did a couple of shows together.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, man. Back in the parking lot. Well, I'm out in the parking lot waiting for you, buddy.
Oh, that's creepy. But all right. That's all right.
He's got a flashlight. Knows
I just wanted to say hello. Again, like I said, again, I can't even make fun of you. We used to have good banter, as far as, making fun of the Mets.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
I did, and the Jets, and you took it like a champ. But,
well, listen, you got to have a sense of humor if you're a fan of those franchises,
That's right.
Wait a second, I'm a Yankee fan there, son.
Yeah, well, you're a Yankee Giants fan.
I know, exactly. I know.
You're a Cameron Bonagora fan.
Yeah.
Which team's going to win more than 6 games this year?
What, Jets and Giants?
Yeah.
Neither.
Yeah.
Oh.
Neither.
The Mets or the Jets?
Yeah, the Mets might win like 3 more games than the Jets this year.
They won 4 games in June, right? I think are they going to win 6 games in June? I think they have 4 wins for June or something. So they still have 2 more games left in June. 29th.
It's a happy clubhouse. Stop.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
It's against the Marlins, so they might get there.
Well, actually, since they have...
Oh, yeah, because nothing bad has ever happened against the Marlins in the history of the Mets, right?
Since the Sandy Alderson press conference, I'm going to say the Mets are actually 2-0 because I won't. Last night was a win to me as far as
Do
I'm
it for
concerned.
Sandy.
Yeah, so they're playing. So.
And Chris, as I mentioned to you 2 weeks ago, at the Rule 5 draft, the Yankees are pregnant with good players that are closing in and coming out of the minor leagues. You're going to see Cashman, as I said to you, he's going to be dealing 2 or 3.
He's going to have to, and that's what there are guys, there are GMs. I was just reading one today. There's some Rule 5 guy out there who's got like a 2.65 ERA. He's doing phenomenal. The GM, whoever let him go, is going to lose his job because he had space too, where he could have kept the guy. He didn't manage his roster properly, and that's the problem. That if you're like you said, if you're pregnant with prospects, you have to be on their 40-man roster. You got to start pairing that list now.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. And like I said, 3 for 1. It's almost like going to pay less for your shoes. Buy one get one. I don't know how they're going to do that. Either they're going to give you your left or the right. But that's the beauty of the Yankee farm system is to produce. And again, I don't want to kick the Met farm system, but
well, it's terrible though. You
Vegas
feel free,
nice,
kick away, man, kick away. The Mets farm system is as bad as it gets right now.
No, but I'm saying they're in Vegas too. So if you have to pull up, some guy that's going to work it at 7
for another year,
a couple of months,
6 months, whatever it is, they're going to Syracuse next year.
I know, which is the best move that they can make. Being in Vegas has been terrible
for the Mets
for play
pick was
development.
because he was at Citi Field last night. This guy